Working 4 days in a week. It's a new topic that's being discussed. Do you think this practice will really bring well-being for people? That's that's what we can find out with ESG analysis. Welcome to the channel. My name is Lena Sakai. I'm Green Business Post editor, and today we're going to understand this topic of 4 days of work in a week. If it really brings well-being and how we can analyze this, including all factors it impacts. If this is the kind of content you're looking for, subscribe to the channel to receive more content on ESG analysis. So, follow me, the conscious ones. Let's understand this topic. It's been discussed and it's been tested in some countries and by some companies. This kind of work, reducing the days in 4 days of work per week, believing that the workers uh, can increase their productivity and increase their well-being by having more days of leisure. But those results that's been intended to, they do not exist yet. There is no study yet. They're testing, and they're testing with small groups of people. So, to begin with the analysis of ESG, we would be cautious on really adopting this kind of practice because of lack of study and really testing. So it's better to go little by little, but this topic, it really brings a very important issue, the well-being of people. People want more quality of life. So we can strengthen this issue in the ESG discussion. So you saw the topic is being discussed in governments, and they want to implement this for all sectors, and that's concerning. This issue only brings the benefits for the employees. But what about the other parts involved, the other stakeholders? In ESG, we try to balance the interests of stakeholders. So this is the interest of the employees. What's the interest of government, for example? But they want to keep earning their taxes, right? So the proposal of this issue, they want the companies to keep the same salary, but the worker will work 2 days less or 1 day less, depending of their schedule, but working less with the same salary. So we can see the government will kind of receive the same. But the organizations, the companies, we can see that's not very easy. It will really create difficulties on their work, their sustainability. If you reduce the days of a worker, then the other days that you need to offer your products and services or keep a machine working in an industry, then you have to hire new workers. And we know there are some crises in the work market. There's a crisis, there's lack of people to find to work. We have a new profile of people that do not study and do not work. So it's more difficult to find the worker you're looking for. So it will really create a difficulty, a barrier in the company's life. So it would not be really a balance to this stakeholder. That's the main stakeholder, because they are the ones who create the jobs and the rent and take people out of poverty. Then there's another issue to consider that impacts everyone. So we can see that the law is created by states, they really impact everyone's lives. and the context of economic context, the global economic context and the local. We are in a crisis. The prices are high, and we're in a crisis globally. Even the giant countries like United States or China, they are having difficulties of their own. We have some wars happening. Wars really create difficulties, allocate money that could go somewhere else in developing the economy, but it's necessary to defend people, so uh, money will go to military. So there are some difficulties, and uh, in a moment like this, it's not interesting to change something that we really like. It's radical to change the work schedule like that. There are people that work 6 days a week, and you would reduce to them like 2 days, and so these other 2 days and the other day for the commercial sector, like they work every day, they open their stores every day, they will have to find someone else and then increase their costs. So there are some difficulties that are not in favor of sustaining the business and the economy. You will create a difficulty for the business and you will create difficulty for the economy as a whole. So it's not the right moment, apparently, as I would analyze. And ESG, it's interesting. We analyze in the ESG plus way. We think of sustaining. So sustaining the business. This issue really is difficult to sustain the business because of the context. But the issue like that it wants to bring the benefits are really relevant to bring well-being for the workers to everyone. So I would leave my suggestion, I would leave this work schedule free for organizations to choose their sectors, their necessities. I would respect the sector necessity, the company culture necessity, or the local culture. I would just respect all this diversity of necessities so they could decide themselves, but I would create, as a state, create incentives for to improve the well-being of people. So incentives I would of benefits the companies can create. So like parents, it's very stressful to create children. So why not to have a community school to to keep children in a safe place where you can trust, and companies that neighborhood can help really to reduce this costs for the parents. Companies could have incentives like in the for the well-being of workers. There are some initiatives of um, uh, a therapist in the workplace, or a massage in the workplace, or it could be a commercial place that companies of the neighborhood could have like a benefit for the workers. So there are so many ideas, creative ideas to improve their well-being of people during the work. So I question if really working less days is really better because of our experience with the pandemic context. We were not allowed to work, to get out of the house, and people got sick. There are many people got depressed, more anxious, and more stressed. They worked like less. They took less traffic jams or less contact with people they don't like, maybe not in person. They got worse in their health. So really need studies. And there is a phrase I like from a philosopher, really professor philosopher. He says, "The work is our source of life." So why not to improve our way of seeing work, to improve the well-being in the workplace. I saw a video of workers in the mining sector, a sector that's very hard to work. It's like it's more work for men because it's there needs strength in the body, and it's dangerous, and there are a lot of machines, and the minerals can be dangerous, and the place they extract the minerals can be dangerous. So it's a dangerous work. It's like it's not easy. But the workers, they were crying not because they were sad of the workplace, but they were crying because one of their colleagues was changing company, going to another company for better salary, something like that. And they were crying because they were missing him already. They were saying goodbye to him, and they would not see him every day as usual. So they they really have a good environment, such a good environment that they were crying for a friend. It was not just a colleague, it was a friend of every day. So we can work this well-being in every sector, every workplace. It's because it involves people. And people we can learn, we can improve our competencies. We are creative, can create our environment. So I think the incentives could be to strengthen this well-being area. And if a person can work in a better place, well, it will want to work, like it will want to go there, we will want to be there. I think these incentives could be more focused more, especially in the scenario of crisis, because if you create this difficulty for the companies, the difficulty of keeping a salary for a worker that will work less days, and then you have to hire another worker. Most companies, they are not big, they are small and medium size. They are the ones who really hires the most, that really moves the economy, takes people out of poverty. And they are smaller, they will have more difficulty to find new workers that is really missing in the market. And creating difficulty for companies like that, the chances that they will break, that things are going not well, is increase a lot. And that's a very risky approach for the economy, for people's rents. They can lose their jobs. The companies can decide to fire people because the costs will increase. They will have to cut costs firing people. So that's very risky to change. So after thinking of sustaining organizations, then we can professionalize create of these new processes that are created, new initiatives. We can all there's a need of capacitating people for a new kind of culture, new way of approach, of leadership, or this um, new way of thinking of people and their families. And then the impacts will be really positive and relevant. And there are some issues that we can see. There are some ways that really already happens that companies adopt, like they try to move their schedule, work schedule, to avoid the rush time. So the traffic can reduce. So cars that are uh, the traffic jam can be reduced, and the pollution that it emits and stays uh, in a one place, one location, because it's traffic jam, it will reduce. So positive impact in the environment and the social, as health, public health. And the stress in the traffic jam or in the bus can be less crowded, or the train less crowded, and maybe less time to get to the work, so less stress. So there are some initiatives that will really bring some environmental impacts and benefits for society. So what do you think of this topic, of this is work schedule change, and these suggestions according to the context we live. Do you have ideas? Do you have ideas of initiatives for the well-being of people? This issue is really relevant to strengthen, and I think we really need incentives for that. So comment here if you have ideas, if you agree, or if in your company you already have initiatives that you really enjoy. Comment here and share for other people, other companies to learn from you. If this content was helpful to you in any way, support the channel for free by liking and sharing with someone that might benefit from it. If you want to study more about ESG Plus analysis, we have a book in the description with cases. And don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter, because the social media not always deliver the notification to everyone. So this was the content of today. Green Business Post: Responsible Impacts for Sustainable Communities.